Good morning. It's Women Empowerment Wednesday. It is November 17th. Now, let's talk about a couple of things. First, did you know that it's National American Indian Heritage Month? Salute to all of our Native Americans who have been here for hundreds of years, innovating and cultivating and loving Americans. I also like to say that I was happy to find out that I actually have Cree Indian as part of my heritage. So I'm excited to share that information. Now, let's talk about this month. We're excited because I want you to be focused on Thanksgiving and not just the day itself, but this month, let's think about all the things that you could be thankful for. You know, in life, there's so many different things that you can be faced with, but if you start your day with the attitude of gratitude and you just take a moment to reflect and write a list of the things that you're thankful for, I think you'll find out that you have a blessed life. So we're gonna get right into our show, and our first sponsor break is with Duke Energy. Thank you, Duke, for your unwavering support of Women Empowerment Wednesday. We'll be right back.
We power the lives of our customers and communities. We provide light, heat, comfort, safety, and we enable our customers to live their lives. We're also in a period of transformation, requiring us to find new ways to deliver our service and placing a premium on our creativity and ability to innovate. Having diverse voices at the table will bring forward the best solutions and position us to succeed.
Some advice I would give other women that's looking to come into the energy industry: you would never know that you can if you never try.
Honestly, I really like the challenge for women. You know, sometimes they are not encouraged as much in the science field. I just kind of wanted to prove to myself and to everybody that I could do it.
Being a minority in the industry, because I'm a female, it just makes me that much more uniquely valuable.
When we put ourselves in a box, we don't do anything for ourselves and we don't do anything for the females who come behind us.
Think outside the box, because the box is boring.
At Duke Energy, we're working to improve female and minority representation in an industry that's often underrepresented.
I'm the only female that works in the mechanical maintenance shop. My mom has always told me I can do anything I put my mind to.
You have to believe you can do this job. You can do and be anything at the company. We are seeing more and more of females in our industry.
It's important that we continue to love on one another, support one another in this industry.
We have a lot of diversity in what we do as a company, and we need to embrace that.
Be yourself, and don't be afraid to be yourself.
Pursue every opportunity that you can to learn as much as you can.
Take those risks, take those opportunities to be able to build a career that is something that you feel very good about.
Each one of us brings something unique, and when you put each one of us together, the picture you create is much better than if each one of us brought the same exact piece to the puzzle.
And we're back. Thank you, Duke Energy, for a second year of sponsorship. Thank you, Tandra Graham, for your willingness to support Women Empowerment Wednesday. But we're here to talk to this dynamic young lady who's with us, who's brought in already a lot of energy, and I love it. Camille, could you tell us about who you are and how did you get here?
Well, thank you, Kimberly, and thank you for having me. My name is Camille Evans. I am a lawyer here in Orlando. I was originally born and raised in Wilmington, Delaware. I went to University of North Carolina undergrad, got a degree in public policy, and made my way south to Florida State for law school, and have been a resident of Orlando since 2005, and I've been practicing for 15 years, primarily in the area of public finance. I represent businesses, governments, as well as, and financial institutions, and usually in borrowing money and lending money and investing.
And it's a good time, and it's actually one of the key areas that businesses and business owners need continuously. It's COVID proof, it's pandemic proof, right?
Yes, no, absolutely. We saw through the pandemic that having access to capital was critical for people to be able to continue their business operations. And it's the key for growth.
It is.
And so access to capital is something that has helped a number of institutions and communities thrive, and I'm excited to see that happen more and more for communities that look like us and business owners that look like us.
So I want to get more into the business part, but we would be remiss if we didn't go into the mom side,
You're right.
the woman side.
Amen.
You know what I'm saying? So can you tell us, how do you maintain life with all of your obligations? Because listen, we talked about it before. Balance is a word that doesn't apply when you own a business or if you work for a corporation and you have a leadership role. Balance is not a word that exists. Okay. So how do you keep things going with all of your obligations?
So great question. I will say my answer on the balance question is I don't know what it is. I know when I don't have it.
Yes. Oh,
and
I like
that's
that.
when everything does not feel like it's flowing. And the way I will say the way I now in this season of my life approach managing everything is I put me first now. That's not something I did previously, and that's something that I learned after having poured from an empty cup and dealing with, being in the hospital, getting stress tests because I was worried I was having a heart attack and worrying about, my stress and my anxiety being so high. And I realized I need to stop and care for me as a vessel before I care for everybody else. And it's a gift, right?
Yeah.
It's a gift to have 3 children. It's a gift to have clients. It's a gift to have a business. It's a gift to serve your community.
It is.
And I want to be a good steward.
Yeah.
And so being a good steward first and foremost requires me to take better care of myself.
That's why it's called self-preservation and self-esteem.
Yes.
And okay, so self comes first.
For a reason. Yes.
I was wondering why self always came first. Go figure.
Go figure. Somebody apparently had that idea already in mind. Yeah.
How does your business align with your passion?
Oh my goodness, I could be here all day telling you about that.
Break it on. I'm ready for it.
So
I love talking
I mentioned
about passions.
earlier, my undergrad was in public policy, and my actual focus was business and government. And interestingly enough, I thought I wanted to be a doctor when I went to college until I got to cadaver lab and discovered that was not my passion.
Repositioning.
It was a TV interest, not a real life interest. But what I loved was the intersection of business and government. I saw how it builds communities, how it closes communities, how it helps them thrive, and how it disenfranchises them. And growing up in Wilmington, my family's from Baltimore and Philadelphia, I got a really close look at urban life. And I saw also, though, living in Wilmington, Delaware, being the town where everybody comes to incorporate, I saw the benefit of being focused on business. And what I found was that my undergraduate degree in public policy put me in a position where I had really good information about the who and the why, but not on the execution. So what I did was I turned around, got my law degree, and got into public finance, which is where you are primarily representing a local government on their borrowings to finance infrastructure, airports, toll roads, schools, fire stations, and then I started representing the banks on that side as well, on those transactions as well. The beauty of it was that I was able to do several billions of dollar transactions and see how money changed hands under what conditions. The other side of it was that I saw my community not thriving.
Right.
And I saw literally hundreds of millions of dollars moving daily, with
But not filtered into communities.
But not filtering into my communities. And also in the deal rooms that I was working in, a lot of people didn't look like me.
Yeah.
And so my business serves my passion because A, I want to serve my community. B, I want to break down barriers for women and minorities to have more of a real presence in financial markets, as well as access to capital. So Virtus LLP, I founded with my business partner, Hope Newsom. She has the same amount of experience with me. She's also a Black woman. She's primarily on the private capital side. I'm primarily on the public finance side. And our business serves our passion because we give access to businesses who are trying to raise capital. A lot of business owners who look like us come to us, and those who don't as well, because we have the expertise, but also we're able to help bring people in. One of my favorite boards that I work with right now is the National Association of Securities Professionals. It is the leading professional organization for minorities in financial services industries. And we really focus on building that talent pipeline and also nurturing the mid-cycle professional to the next job. Instead of aging
more advocates.
out. Yes, more advocates, more access to capital. And right now, my passion is probably most easily focused on narrowing the wealth gap.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
I think that the way that you can do that too is and today is to give us the best advice to entrepreneurs on how they're seeking to raise capital.
The best advice is to ask for help.
Yes.
I think we fully underestimate.
It seems so simple, right?
It seems so simple, but I, as an entrepreneur who started her own firm, I quit my job and stepped out on faith, and I know what it's like to birth that baby. Mm-hmm. And once you birth that baby, God forbid you trust somebody with that baby.
Right.
But there comes a time in growing your business where you quickly become aware of the fact that my sheer will to get this done is not enough. It's not enough. And if I stick with that, I'm only going to get this much.
Right.
If I continue to ask for help and draw things in, but when you ask for help, you got to be willing to be vulnerable.
Yes.
You got to be willing to show the fact that you are not the smartest person in the room. You are not the expert, and you have to receive the guidance and follow it. I didn't get a chance to go to business school. That was one of the things I wanted to do, but I needed to make money. So I was like, we're going to practice law.
You need to be booked and busy.
Yeah, you listen. And so entrepreneurs need to understand that there is a lot of education in a business school curriculum that can help and lead and guide. So I always say, when you're free time, instead of binge watching, go on YouTube and watch somebody's videos about how, how do you do your books?
Yes.
Get a bookkeeper, please get a bookkeeper. If you want to get a bookkeeper, because the first thing you're going to do is provide financial statements.
Correct.
And you're going to need to build what I call your due diligence folder. Mm-hmm. So things like making sure you are properly incorporated or organized, making sure you're preserving those registrations, making sure that your financial records, you should know your run rate. What does it cost you to run your business every day? When you're going to raise capital, what are you going to do with it?
Right.
Because if I'm going to say, Kimberly, may I please have $500,000? You'd be like, great, what you want to do with it? And not only what are you going to do with it, but what is the financial metrics that are going to be achieved because you've borrowed that money?
Correct.
And so I think that we need to be mindful that when you're asking for, it's kind of when you're in a moment of paranoia, like, if I could just get $50,000, this would go so much better.
I mean, I could get
but when you ask for somebody else for their money, it needs to be a much more detailed, thought out process. So build your your due diligence folder. All of your registrations. Keep up with your record keeping. Mm-hmm. And really build out your customer service and business plan.
Yes.
We have really great ideas, but we cannot readily hand somebody a document that explains why it's such a good idea. Spending the time to have other people review your materials and mark them up and give you critical, feedback. Don't be scared of that. Don't let that tell you that you're on the wrong track. Take that as the coaching you would have received from a professor in a class to be a better student.
Yeah, and I think when you start a business a little bit after school, you can apply those life lessons already in addition to the curriculum that you would have from business school. Plus, there's other opportunities to gain, like you said, you can watch YouTube videos. There's the Orlando MBA Business Center, and they have a program that has a wealth of training opportunities for established businesses. So it's at those moments that you take advantage of the training because you only know what you know.
Yes.
So learn a little bit more so you can grow, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you have access to open markets.
Yes.
Yeah, and you operate in Orlando, but you want access to open markets. Learn about open markets.
Exactly.
It's just a little thing.
Exactly. But that's, to the other thing I would say is that a lot of times I encounter sometimes people who don't realize how much they don't know. And it's good to be confident.
Yes.
But sometimes the humility of, I don't know. It's actually a safe space.
Yeah, it is. It is. And the thing is, finding the right team, whether it's an attorney, and I say you have to have a dream team. You need an attorney, you need a CPA, you need someone that can advise you on a business coach. Those three, that's your dream team for sure, right? But I think it's important too that if you own a business that you understand where your pain points are, so that you can find a team that you trust to guide you to get over those. And then you're learning in the process, right? So the next question is, what services does the firm provide, though the women businesses and the women business owners in particular, because we're talking about Women Empowerment Wednesday, that you currently provide?
So we have the majority of our general counsel roles, services are best fit for women entrepreneurs. However, like I said, we do a number of things with women who are in financial institutions and governmental entities as well. In the general counsel practice, what we commonly do is help people with their startup, their formation. So selecting what entity, a LLC, a corporation, what state, helping you put together your operating documents, if there's a operating agreement or partnership agreement, helping put together your initial staffing plans and business, and we'll review business development plans, and then also reviewing commercial leases. A lot of people jump out there to get physical space and don't realize that that can be actually quite the handcuff, you know, along the way. And we do a great deal of what I call Monday morning quarterbacking, where people are like, I did this deal with my friend and I should have had counsel before.
Let me throw it to you.
Rainy days come. So, you know, the best thing we do is help people, provide them with that kind of guidance. I try to always counsel from the perspective that the rainy day will come.
It will come.
So let's keep you prepared and covered, and that you know the rules of engagement if that rainy day comes. The other thing we help with, of course, is with access to capital. When people are trying to obtain loans, we help them serve as borrowers counsel and represent them and get them to the closing table so they can get that capital they need.
Yeah, that's, you know, you don't see a lot of you out there.
No.
It's very few of you out there. So I think we're going to give you her contact information, her firm's contact information. I highly recommend you give her a call. So how can we'll give the information to our clients, but can you tell me, we can be very hard on ourselves, right? We can be very hard on ourselves, desire to be perfect in your position, relationships and parenthood and friendships. Tell us about a time that you had to stop and refocus, regroup, and then extend maybe some self-praise for your accomplishments.
I got two stories.
I'm ready for it.
Okay, so great story that I've grown up with that I didn't appreciate it when I started out with. I was in 4th grade. My parents came home from a parent-teacher conference, and my dad came in the room, and he looked at me, and he said, and I could tell by the looks on their faces that it didn't go how I thought it was going to go. And he says, I want you to go get the dictionary, look up the word mediocre, write the definition 50 times, and then come back. And I was like, it ain't that bad. What happened? So I did my assignment. I wrote the definition 50 times. I come back. My dad says, now that you know what it is, I want you to spend the rest of your life not being that. And again, 4th grader, probably doesn't receive the, but it's stuck with me. I'm 42 years old now, and it's something I vividly remember. I do counseling every 2 weeks. I spend a lot of time working on filling my cup and being very important. It's very important. And one of the conversations I had recently was where the counselor said, you need to actually fall in love with the mediocre version of yourself, elements of yourself. And I was so confronted.
But I've been my whole life not trying to be that. What do you mean? Like, love it, embrace it.
And the reality is that you shun all the excellence that you have naturally if you're constantly pursuing, right? And so you have to give yourself the grace of just, you know, my best today is today's version of best, this moment's version of best. And so really kind of taking a step back and telling myself I don't have to perform, I don't have to execute, I don't have to always be the trusted advisor, the counselor, the best mom ever at every moment.
Everything.
You know, just saying like, you know, Camille just with her sweats, no makeup, and looking crazy in the morning, it's still amazing. But the other thing I want to share with you is with respect to giving yourself the grace is I remember when we first started our business, we used to really work hard at our pitches. I mean, we would sit with people for 45 minutes to an hour to tell them all about it, and we would really be trying to, it felt like sell our service. And I think in what I've quickly realized is we were still convincing ourselves. And now, you know, when it comes to meeting with potential clients, this is what we do. How can we help you? And it's a very quick conversation. We move forward.
Either you in or you're not.
Either you're in or you're not.
And I'm okay if you're not.
And please,
okay,
let's set
don't close the door
early.
behind you because there's two more in line behind you. They understand our worth.
Exactly.
No, but you have a good day.
Exactly, and that's precisely it. It's letting yourself off the I got to prove myself. And I think as women of color, particularly, I was raised. I'll say I was raised to be mindful of always giving the 110%.
Yes.
And as a business owner, I will still give you that 110%, but I'm not going to spend my time convincing you that the service I provide is in fact the service I
Right,
provide.
right.
If you would like it, I'm here for you.
Yes, I love that. And you know how you got there? You got there by understanding and building, you know, your systems and who you are and your
Yes.
intellectual
Yes.
property and
Yes.
understanding that I'm the best at what I do.
Yes.
Because I took the time to be the best.
Yes.
Now, either you see my best or you don't.
Yes.
But I can't get you glasses.
Yes.
If you can't see me
Yes.
at my best.
Yes.
You can go get you go somewhere else and get whatever else.
Yes.
And I love that. And I think as women business owners and women who are in leadership roles, and it's a different type, right? So everyone's not a business owner and everyone doesn't have the desire to risk every day, face new challenges.
Right.
And that's okay. Some people need to go and know I'm going to get a check every Friday. And that's okay. It is okay. But for those of us who say, I'm gonna jump out the boat, and I think I want to be my own boss. I think I want to be in control of the risk every day, that I'll deal with the challenges. I'll report to me. I will direct how I want things to go, right? But once you get to that place, then you take time. You must take time to be the best at what you do. If it's rules and regulations, if it's policies and procedures, if it's whatever it is, you must know those things.
Yes.
And you must stay up to date on those
Yes.
things. And then that's when you can set your price. And I love the movie, Medea is a part in the movie where she's calculating and she pulls out the calculator and she said, now not add tax. Okay, once you know your value,
Yes.
you add tax after
Absolutely.
that, right?
Absolutely.
And so you get to a place where you don't have to continually to prove who you are if you accept already who you are.
Yes.
And I think that
Well said.
that is the message that you were supposed to come and give to women around the world.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was it.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's funny because every time a speaker comes in and we ask the questions, when they leave, we say, that was the message they were supposed to give. We were supposed to just ask the questions.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for that. We will let the audience know how they can get in contact with you. Do you have any final parting words?
My final parting words today are exactly what you said, believe in yourself.
Yes.
We spend a lot of time measuring. We spend a lot of time giving people reasons to believe in us.
Yes.
And I ask you to spend that same time advocating to you, for you, for
man.
yourself. Spend that time. You talked about taking the risk on yourself. Not only take the risk on yourself, but remember you're investing in yourself.
Yes.
I spent time packing up my corner office and saying, you really gonna do this? Like, you really gonna leave your good job?
And everybody around you probably was like,
you do it.
you gonna leave your good paying job?
Yeah. And for a time there, we were a startup.
Yes.
And startup road is not easy.
It's not.
But to your point, building systems around what you have in mind for what you want your life to look like and what your professional life to look like has been ridiculously rewarding for us. So I encourage you to advocate to you, for you, the way you would do for other people.
That's right. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Sora.
Thank you so much.
All right, we will be right back. Our next commercial break is Competitive Edge Partners. Thank you, Debbie Rodriguez, for supporting us this year, and we'll be right back.
We forgot about the trades. Industry leaders like myself and others started to say, okay, well, we've got to do something to fix this problem, because if we don't do it now, we're going to be in this situation for the next 20, 30 years. If we better our industry, then we all win. The United States itself could not be where it is today if it wasn't for the construction industry. Our education system started to focus on college instead of just focusing on career paths. If you don't know what you want to do, why don't you figure it out and then decide whether the college route is your route or a blue-collar worker is your route. There's nothing wrong with being a blue-collar worker. What can we do as a school system? What can we do as an industry to start getting these people that don't necessarily have a career path? How do we get them into our industry? If we all band together and work together for one common goal, couldn't we change the way that this community is? And that's really how iBuild was formed. Everybody was talking about it, but yet nobody was doing anything about it. And I was really just the one that said, hey, I think this could work. let's be real. I mean, most of the time somebody's given up on them. But I don't think this industry gives up on anybody. The reason why I came into this industry is because every day was different. And not only was every day different, but every day was different and you could see what you accomplished. And to me, there was no better career path than being able to walk away from a building and be like, oh, look, I did all of this today. This is about us. This is about our community. This is about changing people's lives and teaching them something that they may have not had the opportunity to, because that's just not what their upbringing was. Changing people's lives is it.
And we're back with another special guest, y'all. First, thank you, Competitive Edge Partners, for sponsoring Women Empowerment Wednesday. Now we're back. We're going to meet a dynamic woman who's doing a lot of things here in Central Florida. So, Krish, can you tell us about who you are and how did you get into real estate? Like, how did you get here and what's the secret to your sauce? Because you're doing it.
Oh, yes. So I've been in real estate for over 6 years.
Wow.
And yeah, basically I got into real estate. Well, first, let me start with that. I'm a YouTuber and I've gotten much success with YouTube videos and just social media in general.
I know, I saw it. We're going to talk afterwards.
Yes, yes. And so basically, you know, after I've had that success, I'm actually looking to scale my business at this point, and I'm very grateful for that as well. And yeah, with real estate, I got into real estate because of I had a cousin that was in a brokerage, and I joined her brokerage.
Oh, yes. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so with joining her brokerage, you know, we just hit it off, and she is actually one of my mentors. And I think it's very important to have mentors.
It is.
To guide you, because we don't always like know the right path or the way to take your business in any field that you're in. So I started doing the investment properties for my family and friends, and that's how I started.
With your base. That's good.
Yes.
Yeah, and anytime you start a business, you should start with your base of influence, people that you can trust to learn, like test on.
Yes, because, you know, it is about trust.
It is about trust.
And if they trust you, then they will do business with you.
That's right. People do business with people they know and trust.
Yes.
And that's how you got started. So you're in real estate, you got your real estate license, congratulations. And then you decided, I'm gonna do it a little bit different. So tell us the secret to yourself. Like, how are you doing things different? Because we know traditionally someone who's a realtor will, you know, have a flyer, or they'll, you know, research a property and they'll kind of tell you about a property, but you take it to a whole nother level. Like, you're taking it to a whole nother level. So tell us about that.
I love how you've done the research on that.
Low-key stock, but that's okay.
Yeah, so I've definitely had a lot of trial and error periods. When you're first getting to know the business, it's very much of an experimentation, what works for you. And I think the important part of that was being your authentic self.
Yes.
When you get into that zone of being a creative and being your authentic self, that's when you flourish. When you find your passion place, that's when you really get into, people see your authenticity. And that's what's important, of just being like your best self.
You're good enough.
Yeah. So I was doing the YouTube videos, and I got into doing YouTube videos, and I think the secret sauce was that, you know, there's a bunch of real estate YouTubers now, but the difference in my business is that I really take the time, and I'm very detail oriented in the content that I create. It's not just me rambling. It's very detailed because I know my audience. And once you know your audience, it's like, it's just, I get calls all the time for, mind you, they're calling me. For, hey, I saw your videos, and I know there's a lot of other real estate videos out there, but you stood out because your content is really detailed and exactly what I'm looking for. So
I like that. The most important thing you said is, one, be yourself. Figure out who you are and figure out what makes you happy. And then walk boldly in it. And then as you're walking in it, make sure that you're professional in detail. Be the master at whatever you're doing. And then people will come to you.
Yes.
Look at there.
Yes.
Look at that. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. I'm getting excited.
Very
I always
much.
get excited. I get excited. I get excited because I know this is what someone who is in Okinawa, Japan, is looking and watching for. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
for
this
sure.
secrets to the sauce. So,
Yeah.
tell us about how COVID has impacted the real estate market.
Oh yes, it definitely has impacted. All real estate agents have had to shift their business and like with a capital shift their business because basically, you know, a lot of things have changed. How are we going to do home showings?
Yes.
How are we going to do closings? We can't do them in person anymore. Also the appraisals. Big thing was that during everything, they had to do drive-by appraisals. So instead of going inside the home, really seeing, so that definitely affected the home values for sure. But right now, you know, and taking all those COVID safety protocols, like entering the home, you know, doing all those safety protocols, that's how it's affected real estate.
Yeah. I couldn't imagine buying a home without having an appraiser go up in the roof, you know, in the attic, I mean, and go on the roof and, you know, like really get into the home and see what those problems are. Because if they went into the attic, they can see a hole in the roof, and now you know that you need to get a $15,000 or $10,000 roof.
Yeah, it can mean a big difference with the cost of the home. So it did affect home values.
Wow, okay. So what's some advice you would have for small business owners that are looking to transition from a home-based business to a brick and mortar? Speaking about purchases.
Well, everyone as business owners, we're looking for the same thing, quality customer service, quality service, and also return on investment, ROI. So I would give advice as to, you know, if that store having that rent, or if you're preparing to own, if that's going to eat into your return on investment, your ROI.
Yes. Okay, good. And if they're looking at a brick and mortar in particular, should they be looking at, when you're, as a realtor, you're looking at two things. One, is it going to impact their return on investment? But should they be looking at different locations? Like, is a location important? Should they be considering those things too?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, location can be the difference between zero traffic and a lot of traffic. So yeah, high volume, high traffic areas are definitely what you want to look for.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so y'all just don't try and find a location because you like it and it's cute, okay? Have a purpose to purchasing a property so that you can have some traffic coming there and you can have more a return on investment. What are some of your daily routines or frequent practices to stay somewhat together?
Yeah, and you know, this is such a great question because it's so important to me to start your morning off, and I didn't really realize the power of it until it took me a while to really be intentional with the savers. I don't know, it's called the Miracle Morning book, and I recommend every business owner to read, and it's called
Miracle Morning book.
Yeah, the Miracle Morning.
Okay, the Miracle Morning.
Yeah, and the whole idea is that you start off your morning with the savers, and it's an acronym for first it's scripting, as in writing, and then it's silence and meditation for S, A for affirmations, writing your affirmations, and V for visualizing, like visualizing your future. Or what you want, your vision, your dream, and then also exercise, and also reading, so that's R, and then S for scribing, which is writing, and these all could be done in like 7 minutes each. So you could do each in 7 minutes, so 7 minutes of squats, or 7 minutes of writing, 7 minutes of reading.
Wow, I like that. The savers is a really good analogy, and I think it's something that, and I think that it's morphed into different things. I love that it's savers because it actually has grown. There was this thing called The Secret, right? So The Secret was a book that came out years ago, right?
Yes.
And it's tied to biblical principles, but it's one, being able to visualize.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
To be able to visualize where you want to go, right? That's when you have a vision board.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay? But then you also have to start your day with an attitude of gratitude. So when you get out of bed, the first thing I do every morning is I say, this is the day the Lord has made. I rejoice and be glad in it before my feet hit the ground. That's something I do every morning. And then whenever I'm having a challenge or whenever I'm doing something, I visualize what I want it to be on the other side. I don't look at what's in front of me now. I keep looking at what I want it to be on the other side. So when we were looking for a house, champagne tasting beer money, right? We were going to different properties, but we were in the house and I was in the kitchen like cooking and I was like, dinner's ready. And I was imagining toasting up with champagne at New Year's. I mean, and I had everybody in the house, all the kids, my spouse, we were all role playing, like they were on the couch watching TV. And it's funny because once it happened, I was like the vision fulfilled. Yeah. But in that moment, I had to create another vision, right? Another goal. Yeah. And so it's important that if we understood the power that we really have to manifest things by what you believe can happen and putting all of your energy into it, right? And not being dismayed or shaken when you see things that are not going in that direction, right? Staying focused on whatever it is, right? So I love the Savers. The Savers takes the secret, well, it takes the Bible, it takes the secret, and it takes it to another level because you're adding in exercise. That's something that is new. And you're adding in reading, right? Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna look that up. You just you just put me up on game. So I'm gonna research
up level.
Yeah, up level. So I'm gonna y'all millennials be taking me to a whole nother place, and I love it. I'm here for it. So I think that's a really good nugget that you've given women around the world, and it really has made you successful. So I think it's worth trying, if nothing else, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that people sometimes don't realize the importance of learning from other people and trying different things to see kind of what works. What's the worst you could do with using the Savers? Getting up and having silence at first,
right? And
then doing meditating, and then visualizing, and then exercising, and then reading, and then subscribing to something. How hard is that?
Right.
What do you have to lose?
It does require discipline, and you don't have to do each one every single day, but your day will come out a lot more focused and you will feel more clarity. So clarity is very important, right? You feel more clear on your goals. You feel more focused, and just having that sense of focus and clarity is number one.
It's everything.
Yeah, it's everything.
And that's how you can stay mentally in a good place.
Yeah,
not the best place, but in a good place.
Yeah, like if something bad happens during the day that comes your way, it's like a layer of protection. It doesn't phase you. It's a layer of protection, and it guides you.
I like that. We're not trying to be phased by everything that comes.
Nope.
We ain't got time for that.
Nope.
We're trying to stay booked and busy.
Yeah.
I love it. 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 What do you want your legacy to be?
My legacy. Oh God, this is a deep question. Yes.
You thought this was a basic show. We get deep up in this joint, okay?
Definitely helping people become the best version of themselves. And I would love to do more philanthropic work and charity work on adversity or children that have experienced adversity, because that's where I came from. And I've come from humble beginnings. And once you just feel a need to give back, and that's definitely the legacy that I want to leave behind.
Well, let me know when you start your foundation, your nonprofit foundation. I'll be the first person to contribute a donation.
Thank you.
I will. I like that. I like that you're thinking about giving back.
Yeah.
A lot of times people are thinking about how can I keep getting.
Right.
But to whom much is given, much is required.
Yes.
And so as you're being blessed, you have to be a blessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the more you give, the more you can receive.
That's
and
right.
Then give back again to
That's
others.
right.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. How can we reach you? What's the best way that we can reach you?
DM me on Instagram. My TikTok is fairly
Direct message for the older people.
YouTube, if you want to look at my content.
Yeah. Give them your handles.
Yeah. So at ChrisDorico.com, and at ChrisDorico for Instagram, and at ChrisDorico for TikTok.
I love it. I love it. All right. So I'm going to give you I'm going to yield the floor to you to give any bit of information you want to give to women who are starting a business or women who work in leadership, and it can be tied to you or it can be tied to the services that you provide.
Yeah.
So anything that you want to say?
Oh, well, with business, I think that it's important to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So if you're looking for any sales or marketing type of position, I think that we do have to push ourselves to go beyond our limits. And I think that with contributing to your success is how many books can you read, challenge yourself to how many books can you read in 1 year,
Wow.
14, 20 books.
Yeah. Set a goal to do something to improve yourself.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's amazing. Well, thank you so much for participating in Women Empowerment Wednesday. You're now part of the sisterhood. Welcome. And we'll definitely be doing some stuff with you. I like your light. I like your light.
Thank you. I like your light too.
All right, so we're going to go into our next commercial break with Sky Builders. Thank you, Juan and Marcella, for sponsoring Women Empowerment Wednesday. Y'all are the cutest couple ever. And next time y'all go to India or Dubai, please let me know and take me. I carry bags. I do. I'll carry y'all bags, I promise. But thank you so much for the sponsorship. We'll be right back.
Sky Builders USA.
My name is Juan Velez.
And my name is Marcela Restrepo.
We are the owners of Sky Builders USA.
And we are so proud to be a finalist of the Don Quixote Awards.
Sky Builders USA is a general contracting company that specializes in drywall, stucco, and exterior wall cladding. In 2008, Juan and Marcela launched the company from their home. With help from Prospera, it quickly grew, achieving minority business certifications and winning contracts with local government. Since then, Sky Builders USA has participated in nearly 350 projects throughout Central Florida and provided work to more than 1,300 employees and subcontractors. Some of its projects include work on the Dr. Phillips Center for the Performing Arts, Valencia College, and Southeastern University in Lakeland. With an emphasis on client satisfaction, Sky Builders USA is reaching for the sky and building the American dream.
We're back. Thank you, Sky Builders, for sponsoring Women Empowerment Wednesday. We're back with our third guest. We have Malika, who's with us. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am awesome. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. We're going to get right into it.
Okay. All right.
Can you tell us or share with us who you are and a brief overview of your background?
Okay, absolutely. So my name is Malika Morton. I am both a CPA and attorney here in Orlando, Florida, owner of ASAP Tax and Accounting Services as well as ASAP Law. I've been in the accounting industry since '98, since I graduated from the awesome University of Florida. Go Gators.
Go Gators.
And started off in corporate accounting, took a shift into the nonprofit world, and then recently, took a shift into owning my own firms full time.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I think it's important when women start out that they go work inside of a corporation or a nonprofit so they can get some practices, some experience, so that they can build some things that you don't learn in school.
That's right.
Yeah, because then it helps you to be a better independent business owner. So I think that you took the right step. A lot of people want to come out of law school and they want to go right into their practice. And for some, it works. But for some, if you haven't taken the time to get that additional information and best practices and just some experiences that you would not have. So I think that is awesome. So tell me, first of all, congratulations on having your CPA and being an attorney. You're a bad chick.
Oh, thank you.
How does being a CPA and attorney better leverage your services that you provide to your clients?
You know what? So what I strive to do, I strive to be like that one-stop shop, to be that resource for especially those small business owners as well as those that endeavor to have a not-for-profit.
Yes.
And then what I'm able to do when they come to me for advice, I'm able to let them know, listen, this is the legal ramifications and here's the tax implications, or here's how you should handle the accounting infrastructure. So I'm going to help you get all of that infrastructure in place in one place,
Yeah.
like one-stop shop.
Yeah, that's good. It saves time. And for a business owner, when you have someone like this that can save you time, that's saving you money. So
Yes.
I recommend you take advantage of her services. I'll say that a whole bunch of times.
Thank you.
What are some of the best practices that you recommend for entrepreneurs as far as structuring their business?
So with structuring your business, number one, the key word you said there is actually structure. You know,
no free willing.
you know, sometimes people will say, "Oh, I have a business. I want to start doing things," and they just literally start doing.
Yes.
And they never
Yes.
take the time to actually structure and create the entity, like a separate entity from you.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Like you don't need to be a sole proprietor all your life.
Exactly. So that's step number one. Actually structure.
Yes.
Step number two. Once you do structure, you have that tax ID number. Please, please, please get a business checking account. Please.
Yes.
If you do that, just segregate your money, your business money from your personal money.
Right.
You are probably 70% ahead of the game.
Right.
Just from that one simple step.
Yeah.
Those are the two bare bone necessities.
Yeah.
Just do those two things. Everything else, you know, we can talk about and we can work with you on it, but please at least do those first two steps.
Yeah, I think that's important. And, you know, you learn those lessons later on in life. So when I got started, I didn't do that initially, right? I was like just trying to get the contracts. I was just trying to get some money coming in. So I waited about 3 months before I started my business bank account. Then there was an opportunity that came down the pipeline, but they needed me to have my business bank account months prior.
Oh, wow.
And I wasn't able to take advantage of basically, and I'll be honest, it was the PPP. I had to have a business bank account before February 15th.
Yes.
I had a business bank account February like 17th. I missed about a couple of days.
Wow.
But I had started my business actively in November. And so because of that, but I had contracts. I had, you know, I had lost contracts because of the pandemic. I had payroll. I had all those things. I had all those other things.
But didn't have.
But because my bank account had not been established, I wasn't able to take advantage and get the PPP. So I'm telling you.
Yes.
She gave you the advice. I'm giving you like the real deal, Holyfield. It happened to me. So it's important to separate the two.
That's right.
You'll shoot yourself in the foot later.
Yep, absolutely.
Oh man, that was very hard. Yeah, it hurt really bad. It did. For businesses that are LLC, what does that mean as it relates to business taxes?
So when you're an LLC, it can mean a number of things. So LLC is not a tax designation in and of itself. It's a business structure. It's not a tax designation. The way that impacts your taxes, well, is going to depend. Is it just you? Are you a single member LLC? Are you a multi-member LLC? When you're a single member LLC, you have options. You can either be taxed as a sole proprietor, like a disregarded entity. That's the official term, meaning you just file your Schedule C on your individual taxes, or you can elect to be taxed as an S corporation. Let me say this. I know that a lot of people are doing, I want to be an S corporation. It's awesome. It can be a great tax strategy. There is a requirement when you are an S corporation that you as the shareholder are supposed to be on payroll. And a 1099 is not payroll, okay?
Yep.
So just be prepared. If you're going to do that,
That's
just
right.
understand there's another level of compliance. It's an additional filing. It's a little bit more complex. Multi-member LLC, you're either being taxed as a partnership, Form 1065, or again, you could elect the S Corp status, or you can even elect regular Corp status, C Corp, but LLC in and of itself is not a tax designation. You have to make a decision between those options.
And if all that she said didn't sound like you knew what she was talking about, you need to call her, okay? Because, because if you around here telling me, no, I'm an LLC and you feel good, and that's good that you got legit, right? You're too legit to quit. You went to Sunbiz, you did the paperwork, that's great. But now you got to do the due diligence that come with being a company, and you got to make sure that you're filing your taxes, because they will take it from your bank account if you don't. You don't want those problems. So making sure that you understand and you're doing those things to set your business up on the front end so that you don't have those surprises on the back end. And that's why we have speakers and experts like you here, so that you don't make those mistakes. We want you to thrive and grow with your business. So if I'm trying to qualify for a home, how much income do I need to show?
So, you know, obviously the more house you're trying to buy, the more income you need to show.
Right.
What I noticed a lot, especially this year, you know, interest rates are down. Everybody was trying to get into the home buying game. How much income do you need to show? Well, number one, file your taxes, okay? I had a number of people come to me, oh, I'm trying to buy a house, but I haven't filed taxes in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years.
No, you can't
Seriously,
do that.
so that doesn't
because
work.
they
So
look
make sure you
at
valid
a
them.
long term, how much income have you been making, and if you haven't reported that, then how it's not only just your last 3 bank statements, right? You're not
That's
buying
right.
a car. It's not your last 6 payment or check stubs.
Correct.
This is a major purchase.
And especially if you're a business owner.
Yeah.
Business owners, they're looking at 2 years of your tax returns to qualify you for that mortgage. A good mortgage broker friend of mine, she typically tells people, hey, you need to be showing net income of at least 40 to 50 to even be in the game. But I caution my business owners, we know you don't want to pay taxes, you don't want to write that check to Uncle Sam, so you take every deduction under the sun, and then you even, get a little loosey-goosey and take a few others, and you make it look like you make no income, so that you don't have to pay taxes. But because you look like you have no income, now you also can't qualify for a loan.
Right.
Whether it's mortgage, car, whatever you're trying to qualify for.
Outsmarted yourself.
Yeah.
Outsmarted yourself. Don't be out here trying to outsmart yourself. Don't do that to yourself.
Don't do that. So the correct answer is show your honest income. Show your honest income. Report your honest deductions. That's the answer.
That's the answer. And then you can sleep good at night,
and
too.
then you can sleep good at night, and you don't have to worry about audits and all that kind of stuff. I told somebody, people worry about IRS audits because they be lying. That's when you worry. Yeah. when you haven't been telling the truth.
Don't do that. I love it. The thing is, you'll work so hard not to pay any taxes, right? And we're talking, it could be $5,000. For some people, that's a lot of money. Right. But then you shoot yourself in the foot from being able to get a $300,000 home.
Exactly.
Right? So you have to think about what's important, what's most important. And that's part of just having business structure and having an understanding what you want to do on the business side and the personal side. So when you sit down with someone like Malika, then you can say, okay, you know what? This is my 1 year, 2 year, 3, 5 year goal. Right. Right. And then, so these are some of the things that I want to do. And in 3 years, I want to purchase a house. Okay, then this is what we need to do to set up. Right. So that you there's no surprises. No surprises. Because life is going to bring surprises.
And you got to think about the long game. Right. You're thinking about right now, but you got to plan for the long term.
Yeah. Yeah. The pandemic has thrown everybody. So how has the pandemic affected your business?
Interestingly, my business grew tremendously during the pandemic, and a lot of that was because of the CARES Act funding. So a lot of people had questions about PPP.
And you were out there. Yeah.
I was doing a lot of training. You were. And it was so funny because, of course, the laws changed every week.
Yes.
So, I'd say something today, and then it was just like, oh, well, I got to retract that, and we got to update and modify. But that's okay. We were all learning together.
Yes.
We were all learning together. So scary time, and it was great to be able to help navigate some of the business owners through that time. Yeah. And it just tremendously grew.
Yeah, you were doing a great job. I caught quite a few of you, or you would go on YouTube and you'd be like, okay, let me tell you what's happening. You with me? Okay, so you got this form with the PPP and the EDL with that, and you got this, okay. But remember this, that's important. I was like, you go, girl. So in life, there are wins and lessons. What wins are you most proud of? And first, let's start there. What wins are you most proud of?
You know what? The wins I'm most proud of are those times when I've recognized this season is closing. It's time to walk into something new. So that happened when I transitioned from corporate to nonprofit. Then it happened when I transitioned from nonprofit into my own firm. Yes. Even in my marriage, that my marriage ended. So be it. Okay, it didn't work. It's time to move into a new season. So those have been my greatest wins, just knowing when to pivot.
Yeah, knowing when, and then being okay with the new direction.
That's right. That's right.
So there is it's the knowing, right? Okay, you know what? This doesn't feel comfortable. I don't feel good. Right. It's not in line with who I want to be. It's not in line with where I want to be. Right. Something in my whole body says this is not what I should be doing, right? And as a business owner, or if you're thinking about entrepreneurship, it really does, it's in your soul. You feel it. It's in everything you do. You get messages. You get repeated messages that this is not where you're supposed to be. Business, personal, whatever it may be, even just your body. If your body can tell you it don't want to wait on it no more, whatever it is, you will get
all of that
messages, right? And you will feel off, disheveled, right?
That's exactly it.
It's it. And then you have to own that that's not where I'm supposed to be. And then you have to give yourself grace and permission to say, okay, now I'm gonna put fear aside. I'm gonna walk past uncertainty. I'm gonna walk past what they say. Because they gonna say, oh, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving your marriage? Why are you leaving this? Why? They are not you. right?
Yeah.
And then you have to like keep walking towards your happy place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and finding that place of like authenticity. That's like my word right now.
Yeah.
Everything's about authenticity. Getting
Yeah.
into just being your most authentic self.
Yeah, the best you.
Yeah.
And then loving it.
And loving it. Life does not look anything like I thought it was going to look for me at this stage. It's so much better.
Come on now.
It's so
Come on
much
now.
better. Yes. Yes.
One time for the best better.
Yes. Yes.
After the storm. Come on now. So what has been your greatest lesson? And I think you just talked about it. So the greatest lesson is just really just embracing whatever change comes.
Embrace it.
And knowing that
Embrace it
it's going to be better on the other side.
It's going to be better on the other side. And I'll say for those of us that are like, high achievers, we're always doing, understanding that your value and your self-worth is not tied to your doing.
Yes.
It's just tied to your being, just
Come
because
on
you
now.
are.
One more time for the people in the back.
You're valuable just because you are.
You're good enough. You're good enough.
And that's it.
You were like, you created and you're good enough. Let me tell you something. That's the third time we don't heard that today. Now I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. Speak, Holy Spirit, right?
Won't he do it? What are some things that you do that you how you pour into yourself? Because we can talk about getting to this place, and we've gotten to this place. I know I've gotten to this place of like, hey, this Kim. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But I've gotten to this place by I've gotten to it by counseling. I got into it by just realizing that it ain't gonna work another way.
That's right.
I've gotten to it by some times where I took some time alone. I've gotten to it by some heartaches and some heartbreaks. But now I know who I am, right? And so then I take some time to pour into me, and I do some certain things. What are some things you do to pour into yourself? And one I know is to take fabulous trips where you go to fabulous places and eat fabulous food.
Yes. Love travel.
And you just came back from Arizona.
I just came back from Arizona.
It was like your pictures were so amazing.
Thank you. Lover of travel.
Yeah.
I said it in the post. I love to just take in God's handiwork.
Yes. You did say that.
So I want to see everything. I want to see the world, all of it.
Those
I don't want to go to
pictures.
the moon, but I just want,
Just
I want
on
to see the
Earth.
world. Yeah, on Earth.
Just
Yes,
on Earth.
Yes.
Okay,
So
I got it.
I want to see it.
So we're going to stay in the box of Earth. Okay, got it.
Stay on the planet. But yeah, so that's one of the things I do love to take, and it doesn't have to be big travel.
Yeah.
I love to take a trip to Destin. I love to take a trip to Melbourne Beach, whatever it takes just to get into that happy place, to get into that place of calm. I have a monthly subscription to a spa.
Yeah.
So once a month, I'm getting that 90-minute massage.
Wow, I love it.
I keep the nail appointments,
Yes.
keep the pedicure appointments, just those little things where I just step away for a moment. Something as simple as not having my calendar open on Mondays. Just something as simple as that. If I feel like taking a Friday off, I'll just shut the calendar off so that someone can't book a consultation on that Friday. Sometimes I just need to quiet my mind. And just to quiet my mind and take a break.
Yeah.
Just take a little break every now and then.
I think the most important thing you said is to put you first, right? Even in business,
Exactly.
and taking the time out for those things that you love to do.
Yes.
I have a subscription to a massage place. I've had it, honestly, a year and a half, and I used it once.
Oh, Kim.
So you just reminded me again to cancel it. Again.
No, don't cancel it. Go.
Well, no, I got to what I think I want to do is I want to go and see if I could get all the coupons from all the times that I didn't use it and gift them, and then do something. But it's knowing what you need,
yes,
and then doing it.
That's right. That's right.
And making the time
Yeah.
to do it.
Even if it's on Sunday.
Even if it's on a
Doesn't have to be during the week. I typically I'll watch church in the morning and then I'm at the massage place like Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So it can be on a Sunday. You can go.
I know.
I'm looking at you real hard. You can go.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in myself. And then you think about the money that I put into. That's why I want to get these coupons so I can give to somebody else. I'm not in wasting money, but I did it initially going, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to make time for myself, and then I didn't. So I think the most important thing that women, this is what taking care of yourself look like. See the nails, see the shoe. I wish you could see the shoes. That's what it looked like. Okay, this is what it looked like when you take care of yourself. Just keeping it 100 today. Y'all know I'm real all the time.
Kim is fabulous. Kim is fabulous.
So, ladies, please take the time to love on yourself.
Yes.
Actually, not only plan it, but do it, because life is short. It's short, and you know, you can't get back tomorrow. So take care of yourself. Thank you for coming in. Now, I always like to leave and allow my guests to give a final parting word. Is there anything, and we'll put your information up how they can contact you, so that will be up. One, how do you prefer people contact you?
Contact me through my website.
Okay.
So asaptaxandlaw.com. That's the best way to contact me. There's a contact form. I will get back with you and get a consultation scheduled.
Okay, great. All right. So I'd like for you to leave parting words, and this is going out to the world, so that you can empower women, or just any nuggets or tokens or anything that you like to give.
Wow. I think I would just leave you ladies and gentlemen that may be watching as well.
We do.
Just embrace being the most authentic you that you can manage to be. Don't worry about anybody else's expectations. The only expectations you have to live up to are yours. So just be your most authentic you and enjoy it.
And enjoy the ride.
And enjoy the ride. Enjoy the journey.
Yeah, enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Hands up on the cart. All right. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
I enjoyed you being here. I really did.
Thank you so much.
Y'all better call her. You get a twofer with her. You rarely get a twofer. You get a twofer. Our next, I want to go into our next sponsor break by 3D Strategic Management. 3D Strategic Management is a full-service business development firm. I am the CEO. We got several programs under our umbrella, including Women Empowerment Wednesday, or the Orlando MBDA Business Center, or the MBDA CARES Act Relief Initiative, or the SEED program. It's a couple things we got going on over here, so check us out. All right, thank you. We'll be right back.
3D Strategic Management is a full-service business development and community relations firm. 3D Strategic Management has worked on initiatives with the African American Chamber of Commerce, Orange County Public Schools, Duke Energy, and U.S. Department of Commerce. Recognized as a minority business advocate, 3D Strategic Management has conducted hundreds of presentations on business development and on how to do business with various entities in Florida.
It's very important to be an advocate for a small business, and particularly those that don't know they have a voice. I have 22 years of experience of understanding what small businesses need to be successful. I also have been blessed with the opportunity to know what corporations and private entities are looking for from these small businesses. Again, thank you to 3D Strategic Management for sponsoring Women Empowerment Wednesday. If you haven't had a chance to check us out, go to our website, and so that you can see all the different services that we provide. Women Empowerment Wednesday is just one. So you just had a chance to hear from 3 amazing women who all had a couple of things in common, and I want to kind of recap those things that I heard. On top of the business tips and the life tips, 3 things that will stand out. One is being and knowing your authentic self. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to take the time to get to know who you are and whose you are, and then walk in that every day, unapologetic. The other thing is self-care. It's important that you take care of yourself. That's why it's called self-care. Now, I know y'all heard me just say that I don't do the best, but I'm striving, and I want you to strive as well. Self-preservation, self-esteem, self-care all start with self. So if you want to live a long, prosperous life, you must take care of yourself. And you can do it by doing little things. You heard Malika talk about making sure she get her nails done, just the little things. You heard Krish talk about getting up in the morning and doing the Savers program that she participates in. And so there's just all these things that I want to make sure that you are taking the time to do so that you can have the best life. The third thing is putting yourself first. We heard Camille talking about making sure that she takes time to put herself first, to put her seatbelt on first, to put her mask on first. So we didn't plan this. This is just a message that 3 people that came together give. And so I hope that you receive the message today. It's all about being thankful. It's all about being also being there for yourself first. So we look forward to seeing you next month on December 15th, which happens to be my birthday. So join us next month. In particular, we'll have some real surprises because it's my birthday. So, but anyway, thank you for watching. Continue to stay with us. We are working every month to find dynamic women to be able to assist you and grow your business and help you help you to reach your passion so that you can have a long, prosperous life, you and your legacy. So we'll see you soon. Bye.